Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, I hope audio and video is working fine, and I think I'm waiting for incognito window to play back the audio so I can be damn sure whether it's working or not. Hello YouTube viewers. Okay, so as of now, I think things are working fine. So audio video should be fine, and all of you should be able to read and write any comments that you want to. So today's topic, I will try to stay on topic depending on the comments. My core topic would be basically batteries and motors that are going into electric vehicle. Recently, I've been doing a lot of crunching on that
Hello,
information, so
Namaskar,
wanted to share
welcome,
that. And I think the
Swagatam.
videos worked quite
You are
okay.
with the versatile
I was
doctor.
happy with
My
that.
name is Dr. Abhinav Atul, and I
Because
welcome you
recently,
today to this very special
Monroe, I've
live
been,
session where
I used
I
to
will
watch,
be reading a
not
chapter
used to,
or
I
a
still
few,
watch
or a few chapters
basically
from my
Weaver
latest
Auto
novel,
channel. This
The
channel
Broken
was
Boyfriend.
specifically from a university point of view
So
for
let me
helping
just
the
give you
student to
a
learn
little
how
bit
to
of background on
maintain and
what this
service and
session is all
understand these
about.
sort of vehicle, which again I find
am,
it
as you
very
know, a member of TLB, the Digital
thought-provoking
City.
that I cannot just
Digital City
point to
we
any
started
Indian
just
institution that is
like
doing the same thing.
an
I was like,
online book club,
you cannot
and
be
now it has
experienced about
evolved
something
into
if you
much,
never
much
touched
more.
it.
But
So
more
that
on
was
that
very
later.
shocking, but he was doing that. And Monroe Life,
We
they have a different kind
in
of
TLB, the Digital
goal
City,
because
there is
that Monroe
author of
Life
the
is an
week,
engineering
among
firm. What
other
they do
things,
is
like
basically
there is
take a product, tear it
reality
down,
show going
and try
on.
to
There
provide
are
my
other options like
double sound. Okay.
review circle, book of the week, painters competition, daily YouTube
It should have
competition,
been gone.
everything that is going on. So
Your brother's sound is live. Your brother. My brother's sound. I think, do I have any other window open? Maybe. Okay. Sorry, it was open in a different. Sorry, my apologies. My apologies. Things happen. There are times where things happen. Multiple monitors, multiple tabs, so this sort of issue does happen. Okay. Oh, my brother is live literally. He's live right now. Damn. He's about to promote his second book he wrote, The Broken Boyfriend. So that's a different kind of thing. So such is life. Oh, I'm curious. Do you, any one of you know any good software that allows you to make graphs? I'm using Google Sheet, but graphing options are not very, what do you call, flexible. For example, I wanted to have a graph of basically brake specific fuel consumption, and I wanted the numbers to be on bottom and basically percentage wise, basically thermodynamic percentage return on the square peg. So I got the graph exactly I want, but I do not know how to color it. Basically, I want to make sure that only petrol gets a yellow color, diesel gets a let's say different orange color or something like that. Is there any tool that are specialized for that? Because again, I do not think Google Sheet has that depth level of, and again, I cannot even rotate the percentage because again, percentage is a long thing. So many numbers are there, they are overlapping. I wanted to rotate them 90, put them on the bottom so you can just look at it and read it. So if any of you guys have any idea that are free, basically any online tool where I can just drop a graph and get a lot of good data out of it, good images out of it, that would be really helpful. So anyway, that being said, so again, right now I'm paying a lot of attention into that ecosystem. And Monroe, what they guys do specifically is basically they tear down the product, do their best. They actually have paid high engineers who tear it down. They try to source parts and all that. Everything, everything they could do, they do it, and then they offer it as a engineering report, and other companies do that, buy that report, and I'm pretty sure it must be very expensive. And they talked about like doing tear down for IBM, like BMW i3, they spent like $5 to $10 million because it was so unique and so bespoke. They had to do so much research in order to figure it out. So I'm pretty sure they must have been paying that report for very significant sums of money. Now, like, why would any company want to buy for it? They generally do. Trust me, they do. If you are any chance where your product can literally cause some significant change in the industry, you would want to know, right? Let's say I'm a car company, right? Or let's say, let's more realistic. My company is making three-wheelers. It would be in my best interest to go and buy another three-wheeler to see how they are doing it. The best-selling e-wheeler, the e-wheeler that flopped. What did they do wrong? What did they do right? What they did do, like all that data is priceless for a company's point of view. So that's how Monroe's business economic works. You said some really dark, ugly truth in the live stream that it would be the last Mahakumbh. Yeah, that's mathematically things are looking that way. So yeah, and it takes 144 years. So 144 year from now, I don't know. Like there's a very good chance Hindus can go from religion to mythology. So yeah, things of that nature does happen. But again, I'm no longer in a position where I care anymore. So it is what it is. So that being said, there's so much information that you can gain from these two channel alone, and there are so many. Like there was this Monroe channel. They are like, hey, this Tesla company, Elon Musk company, they have this Octovalve, and everybody's like, whoa, how they are doing this? They have just they have removed heaters. And now again, for Indians, it sounds weird that you had heaters in the first place. But again, in European or American, Northern American parts of you, they do get cold, like really cold. Like half of the circuits only turn on when it becomes minus 10 degrees Celsius. So I do get it. And they're like, hey, heaters at that level consume a lot of power, like kilowatts of power. Jeff finally left India. Which country you went to? Like I want to go to countries that have legal services. So far my friend is in Australia, and he said that you can get some serious and it's fully legal services. So I'm thinking about that. And again, it is an English speaking nation, so it should be doable for me, hopefully. So it is what it is. So I have to look into those things basically. Where can we get the services that we need? A man needs to get good service. Anyway, that being said, yeah, in terms of what I was talking about, yeah, vehicle teardown and all that, the amount of information now available on YouTube is crazy. So Monroe is like, you can buy our report and to figure out how this works. And just in that video alone, there was a recommendation how Octovalve works. And somebody literally looked into the patent and double checked it. Somebody else looked into the real hardware and it's like, okay, this is the piping and all that. I'm like that was so awesome. Like serious awesomeness. It was like, holy damn, like the Octovalve thing is like, oh, it's so complex. No, it's just a 2 quad valves. I was like, huh, not that interesting. Like it is clever, let that be very clear, it's clever, but it's not magic. And again, that was a very unique way of looking at things. So I was very, I'm very proud of the fact that there are so many people pouring so much heart and soul into YouTube that you can learn almost everything. Any principle, any product, almost anything. Now again, not medical science. I will always make sure that do not get into medical science because you could be playing with someone's life. So that's my line. And everything else, specifically anything that affects you, go YOLO on it. So that's it. Indian media is a clown focusing on lame jokes instead of raising actual serious concern. Yeah, recently on 25 January, I could be wrong about the date, but 25 January 2025, Indian Supreme Court announced that Indian woman can bring someone else's child in a marriage and father has to pay for it, even though if it's product of infidelity. And again, Indian media is focusing on a freaking joke. I was like, are you serious? So that's why, like, if somebody says that, this will be last Mahakumbh, I'm like, who cares? Hey, how are you doing? I'm good, I'm good. Did a presentation about an internship I had in a combined cycle power plant, and I came across a video of your explaining HRGC. It was very helpful, thank you. Well, if it helped you to get a job, I am more than happy and I'm very glad. And if you actually got a job and you're actually getting paid, here's my PayPal ring. Give me some one with man. I'm not making so much money. Anyway, I am very glad that you got it. Thank you. I would recommend you to go to Mukashmi, even if you are it once in a life, Mahakumbh. No, I do not travel in those sort of places. And again, any place where you have too much people, I'm like, I'm out. I don't even go to clubs or concert and all that. And I have no idea how people handle it. It's like my body hurts if I'm in such a loud environment. I have no idea. Like I genuinely do not know what people find interesting. According to our parliament and judiciary, you were writing something long. I think, oh, somebody donated. That would be interesting. Okay. Can we use capacitor for storing regeneration and energy in EV? Question is why? Why would you want to have secondary things if you can just do the work with primary? Basically, parts count is the worst enemy of your production. Basically, you do not want to have parts. I feel like if this can do the work, this can do the work. You do not want to add parts to it. It's like, why would you add? If the battery can absorb the energy, you just let the battery absorb it. You do not want to. Again, it sounds good to, oh, I have a super capacitor that can, like, take off the peak and all that. It's like, but it costs money, and not money in terms of like the product cost. That's a bong cost. That's a different thing. Money in terms of assembly, in terms of quality control, in terms of product recalls, in terms of product failures, all of that. Basically, the more parts, the more joints you have. The more joints you have, the more oops can happen. So again, as a production engineer, your job would be to make things simple. Keep it simple, silly. So if you do not do that, there are penalties for that. So again, you can force whatever the heck you want, but it will become like a supercar where like each supercar has to be hand checked and double checked and verified and all that. But it cannot be like, okay, Honda or Toyota where they're like, oh, we are making 10,000 cars a day. So if you want to achieve that level of scale, this sort of what if this, what if that is not viable. Regeneration, again, if you can't launch the product because you have this extra part, what would be the point? And again, batteries are not that fragile. If you are designed it properly, it's not that fragile, especially once batteries started to get into temperature controls territory, so batteries can last surprisingly long amount of time. Could we provide some more context on religion versus mythology? No, religion versus mythology is just a transfer. Basically, once you have the amount of people who are actively believing it, actively practicing it, goes down below a certain point where it's no longer, basically it's a numbers game. It's like language. So there are thousands of language. Heck, India has 800 language, but do Indians use all 800 of them? Hell no. 33 official language, if I'm not mistaken. Do even all those 33s are used? No, I think Hindi, Bangla, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, Punjabi, and Bhojpuri to some extent. These are the easy to Hindi, of course, I'm pretty sure I've talked about it. So all these languages are commonly used. So these are main language, and those are like tributary language. Even though language could be completely separate, completely different, like Sanskrit, if not enough people are using it, it's no longer an active language. So same way active language becomes a extinct language, religion, once the number of people who are following it, practicing it goes down, it no longer is treated as a religion. Now you could have some niche scenario, basically how Indians, basically not Indian, the Indians of like America, the Native Americans, those people have a different kind of religion, and that is respected simply because of the constitution and all that. But again, technically it would be classified as their mythology, but people out of respect, they call it say religion. But again, according to judiciary and parliament, extramarital affair by women are not spoiling our India culture, but jokes and comedians are. Yeah, again, that's why, like, again, whatever happens to this culture that I'm part of, it's not done by someone else. Like, this is one of the most bitter part of it. It's not like, oh, West doing this and that, and they ain't got time for this. They ain't got time for this. Okay, we are doing it. So that was a bitter thing to digest, but it is what it is. It's life, and I have to accept its consequences. That's the only way I can find peace. So your Rocket Monday and Computer Wednesday videos are really helpful. Thank you for your good work. Thank you. I try to do my best. Making bets on Blue Origin on landing on moon on first try. See, problem with moon landing is that even if the rocket worked, what about the lander? Lander is the tedious part, so I do not know. I can put the, again, I had very high hopes for the launch, and it did turn out. The landing did not go well. Although some people have expressed a very serious desire that they do not think Blue Origin could work, simply because the economic structure of Blue Origin is not viable. So I'm like, And again, just when I was watching this video, literally news came out that Blue Origin fired 1,000 of its employees. 1,000 rocket company employees are expensive. So I'm like, somebody is trying to figure out how to make it a lean machine. Because again, they said it quite politely, quite accurately, is that, how should I put this? They are a traditional company in a new market. The market has changed because of SpaceX and Rocket Lab. So they are not working like them. They are not lean and efficient. They are taking their sweet time. They are doing basically what Saturn V did and what SLS is doing. But you can't afford that nowadays. So let's see what happens. So there's a Khatne walo bhi time. It's like, yes, like, please explain how my previous comments are deleted. I do not delete it. YouTube could be deleting it. I do not delete comment. Again, I do not think that's I'm not getting what you're trying to. Bro, I have asked question, what is the best battery for a grid destroyer according to the economics? Pumped hydro. And second thing, thermal energy storage of that, converting old power plants. Why? again, power plant is 90% of infrastructure is already there, so capital goes down. While it does have very poor round trip efficiency, as in like 70% of energy would be wasted, while it's charging, it does give you, basically you can use it as a stabilizer for the grid. You do need inertia. Without inertia, grid does not work. So it gives you inertia. It does not have any chemical component, meaning it can keep running as long as you can keep maintaining. So it's like a dam. You keep maintaining it, it runs forever. So that's a good thing. And again, what about generators and all that? Again, they goes through service every 25 years, and they keep working. So that's a very good use of resources that we have, and reducing not even reducing, eliminating its pollution outcome, because again, instead of coal, you just have a thermal box, basically a double insulated thermal box that has giant lumps of graphite, absolutely pure graphite, in a basically inert environment, basically nitrogen. You could even try helium, but problem is helium is expensive, so nitrogen has to do. And then you just heat it up during the peak solar and wind and all that. It goes into that, and the block dumps its energy into water turns the steam turbine, you get the grid inertia. So that's one very good technology, because again, even if it can only power you 2 to 3 hours, if it gives you enough inertia, again, that's how our country is working right now, all the inertia is maintained, then we can properly scale up solar. So that's a very good use. Second is pumped hydro. Why? Because that's the only thing that I can say, oh, invest billions of dollars making it and it will last for centuries. How do we know? Last one is that old. So that is there. What problem with axial flux motor? Why no one trying it? More than enough people are trying it. You are not paying attention. Plus, first tell me which things are really using it. Even in my video, I've given you real world example who are using it. So don't be lazy. Give me example who are using it. Then I'll explain why it's not used a bit more. Calling me a monster. Oh, I'm also reading my brother's chat comment. That's a weird thing. Okay. What problem except for, okay. Your live videos can trigger some feminists, and the little chances they might drag you into legal case. I already have a court case, my man. Not even one. I have, technically, I have 4. 2 of them are finished and 2 of them are still going. One is in district court. Another is not opened yet, but it's in high court. So, like at some point you get so miserable in life that you stop caring. You're like, meh, who cares? It's like there is a Hindi dialogue about that. That sounds very poetic. It's just like, इतना मत डराइए कि डर से डर खत्म हो जाए. It's basically, don't scare me so much that I stop being scared of fear itself. It's like, I'm no longer in a position where it's like, I will shoot you. It's like, try. So it's one of those things. What should I do? 12th pass, preparing for JEE, currently studying. It's like many problems. Just interested to do something in life. I do not know. This is your personal life. You have to figure it out. It's not something that no. It's like you have to understand. Okay, in terms of your education, and again, you do not need that much money in order to travel. You can travel in local train also, or simple buses, or just like have a bike and just like have a good backpack. Don't take your most expensive mobile phone. Try to keep your exposure minimum and just travel. Like again, it allows your minds to clear, declutter itself. That could help. And but again, it's a career sort of thing. Try Power BI for Graph Power BI. Okay, let me copy paste that name so I can find it again. Okay, let me look into it. Data visualize. Oh, damn, the name is heavy. Another is Tiblu. Okay, concept and visualization of any data. Oh, it sounds too convoluted, man. Try for free. It's paid, man. I can't pay for this. Free account. Okay, what can we do in free account? Activate your free trial, man. Nah, man. Nah, my man. Nah, bro. Okay, TPU. Business intelligence and analytics software. Hey. Try to be for free. Register for a conference. I just want graphs, man. Just graph. Nothing even fancy, but like. A company made aircraft to transfer wind turbine blades from remote area. It can transfer 130-meter blade. That's so silly. Again, that's why I keep saying wind only makes sense in the sea, where you can just literally have a giant ass factory in the next to coast and just ship everything. So, so it is what it is. It's like, that feels weird. How to break free from YouTube addiction. If you know you are addict, you are the problem. Like you just need to, for lack of a better term, man up. And if you are having hard time, start writing down. Like literally, that's the best thing I can tell you. Take a pen and paper. Like see, whenever I find myself stuck in scenarios, I cannot tell you how efficient this. Hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, how efficient this thing is. Just take a pen. Like in my case, is a hyper expensive mechanical pencil. Take that and just start writing it out. Just like whatever is going on, just start to put it down. Trust me, I guarantee it. It will help you more than most thing you can even imagine. I guarantee it. Personal guarantee. Start writing out. Like whatever idea you have, just start to dump it down. Oh, one thing came up because again, recently I was looking into a company that is delivering batteries, and they were saying like they have a 40 unit battery, 40 kilowatt hour battery, and it has a range of 240 kilometer. Again, the range of batteries do not make any sense. It's not mathematical. I'll talk about that. So that translates to they can travel 6 kilometer for 1 unit of electricity. I do not know which chassis they are talking about, but let's just assume with that. Then they were like, okay, a few years later they upgraded the battery. So battery went from 40 unit to 55 unit, and this time they had 300 kilometer range. Okay, cool, awesome. That translates to a bit poor efficiency, as in like 5.4 kilometer per unit. Okay, cool, not too drastically changing, but that's what it. And then you have nickel, cobalt, aluminum batteries. These puppies they have 750 kilometer range. I'm like, damn, such a fake thing, because it has 130 unit battery. Now 130 unit means 5.7 kilometer per unit of energy. Not that unrealistic. There are cars that can do that. Then why it's fake? Well, here's the deal. They are assuming you are not running air condition. Air condition can easily consume 1 unit or sometimes 3 unit per hour. So unless you are traveling at 700 kilometer per hour, you're gonna need air condition. Or even as a heat, even if it's running as a heat pump, it still consumes a lot of power and all the auxiliary things. So if you're running your vehicle for short duration, let's say 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes like that, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're running for long duration, like this sort of distance, those auxiliary thing will leech off far more power than you can realize. So that's why the range, long range is not that viable. I see your journey on Hindi channel. You are a big YouTuber now. Well, define big, right? That's the whole thing. Like scientifically define big. So I'm not nobody, because again, if you are at silver level, basically once you can get that tick mark, again, this English channel is very tiny. This channel would be tiny channel, while my Hindi channel would be medium sized channel, because again it did cross that tick mark and I did got the silver medal. Now big channel would be once you are in the gold medal category. Unfortunately, my channel metric has went like some months I'm like yo, other times no. So it is what it is. Reliance plans to use technology in its energy storage gigafactory in Jamnagar. Will India go YOLO on sodium ion grid? Again, if you are trying to store grid level energy on anything other than pumped hydro and thermal energy storage, yeah, it's a stupid thing. Again, you can burn enough money to do it. It's just that after you have burnt money and after people are getting the bill, they are like, sir, what was the point of it? So, and again, I keep talking about grid inertia has to be there. That's why I keep focusing on those two. They have the lowest cost and the most time tested terms of grid inertia. Pumped hydro gives you during discharge, and thermal gives you all the time. So yeah, it is inefficient, but again, infrastructure is already built. Everything is pre-done. So is one of the things. I have time constraint as my JE paper is into a month. How to get my interest back in life? I'm feeling like I'm depressed. Nothing works for me. Again, I told you, start writing it down. And again, here's the deal. If nothing is working for you, then you do not have a constraint. Okay. If you know you're gonna fail in exam, what's the point of giving that exam? Like don't have this double back pressure. Like own up to your scenario. So it's like if your parents are very angry, it's like you can tell them flat out, hey, I can try to give you this exam, but I'm not in a good position. I'm not gonna pass most likely. And if they get angry, well, such is life. Then it's like, okay, I will try, but don't. I'm an art student, but I'm interested in science. What's so unique about that? That's life. That's life. Like most people are interested in science. If you are not interested in science, there is a very good chance you did not have good teachers. Nothing more than that. Like science is amazing. I have never seen a single man, a boy, or whatever have you that is not interested in science. So it's not a unique thing to say, oh, I'm interested in science. Everybody is. Everybody is. How do you think Discovery Channel makes their money? And National Geography makes their money? You know, how's popular, like at the peak of their success, Mythbuster were huge. Now, again, I do feel bad for modern generation because again, the TikTok attention span is really brutal on their psychology. But back in those days, people were interested. It's like it's not a unique thing to say, "Oh, I'm an art student. I'm studying." That's me. That's literally my channel. I'm an art student. So it is what it is. Okay. What's your daily schedule? I do not have that much kind of schedule. It's very simple. Wake up. I used to read books. I have ordered 3 books because again I'm feeling off. I think having a morning starting with a reading book, that was helpful. I'm not doing that, but I have ordered 3 books. So unless I am traveling tomorrow or day after tomorrow, most likely I'll be getting the book soon, and then I'll start reading in the morning. After that, I do my work, and that's it. Nothing fancy. Solar plus wind plus biogas plus HVDC plus pumped hydro. No, you also need to have that thermal energy storage, because again, pumped hydro does not give you inertia during charging cycle. It only gives you during discharging. So that needs to be there. So that's there. Then you can have a completely renewable country. Renewable should not be the right word for this. You should use independent country. You do not have to worry about OPEC or oil prices or things of that nature. Again, that assumes you also do seaweed biofuel. So that is there. What's the daily schedule? Okay. Do you think we can make a traction motor on EV different from a passenger EV? Hey? Traction motor on EV trucks, again, it's the same thing, same technology. You just change the gearing. Basically, it's exactly how Indian locomotives that are in Indian Railway, they have 2 designation, WAP, WAG. So wide gauge AC traction, passenger, wide gauge AC traction, goods. So what do they change? Do they change the motor? No, they just change the small gear and the big gear. Basically, I think the small gear is called, I do not know. Big one is called bull gear, that I remember. So the bull gear, they change the ratio. So basically, when they are pulling a goods train, they change the ratio for maximum torque, and when they are pulling passenger, they change the ratio for maximum speed. So same goes with EV traction motor for trucks and passenger. Of course, if it's a very low cost down vehicle, duh. But again, 100 horsepower motor is 100 horsepower motor. Okay, let that be very clear. 100 horsepower motor is 100 horsepower motor. So you can use 100 horsepower for a truck, or you can use it for a supercar. That's up to you. What career advice would you give your younger brother if you had to? Nothing, nothing. That's the one thing you have to understand. It's like uh, fundamentally speaking, career is something that starts after you have cleared the examinations, after you have cleared the institute, after you have, like, gone through the university and all that. Then your real life starts. And if you do not have passion, you will find it very painful to keep drudging along. I have seen way too many, my artist friend, like most of them, like, did not made it into art industry itself. Like same as like so many engineers who clear IIT and they're like, hey, we are jobless, we do not get job in IT sector, we all IT sector, sorry, engineering sector, we are getting job in, like, banks and things of that nature, other things that are they did not study for. That's why, like, but the only thing I would say, like, start doing things, like start writing it down. Now you see, half of the answers that you're seeking for is inside your brain. You have to just reach to it. It's difficult. Start writing it down. Like whatever happening in your brain, start writing it. It's basically like a mirror surface that can allows you to see inside your brain. Think in that way. How much solar panel efficiency reach max? 51% is achievable right now with triple junction solar cell. I have seen some calculation that says that we should be able to touch 75%. Right now, the current market ones are like 21 to 25%. So that's there. Can you do detailed video on science and production on seaweed? I have already done that. Already done that. I've made like LG to fuel, that's the video name. Are solid state or sodium ion battery becoming essential for EV push or for high energy density while balancing safety? Who the heck came up with the idea that sodium is useful? It's like sodium is weaker than lithium, and I mean every lithium combination. Lithium iron phosphate is also more powerful than that. So I have no idea. Sodium is cheap. You have to understand, it's a cheap product. So you have that. Solid state, I do not know. The mathematics, the data is not complete yet. As of now, it's undercooked. So once it's cooked, then I will do that. Sir, what do you do for living? I do YouTube. Surprisingly silly question, but I am not shocked for some reason. Way too many people think I do different things. It's just like, I just do YouTube, my man. Just YouTube. Beautiful living. Okay, that's done. Come on, somebody, come on, come up with some thing that I can actually try for, graphing and all that. Please call me an engineer after seeing my project, and people call me engineer. Again, that's cool. See, that's cool. But again, you are way too interested in what people think about you. Way too interested in that. And again, if I do that, that makes sense because my earnings comes from that. But if you are doing it and your earnings does not come from it, you have to be very mindful of it. What EV is safest for EV plane? I don't think you can make a genuinely good argument for that. And again, planes are inherently dangerous. So, my 99 friends are addicted to TikTok and now Reels, but I am alone. TikTok cannot make me addicted. Don't jinx it. You might get addicted to something else. Don't jinx it. Thou shall not jinx it. You jinx it, life fires missiles at you. And life missile is far more powerful than anything else. It will boom you. One way or the another, it will boom you. So one has to be very mindful and very thorough. What if I modify old cars to electric? Does it need any license from RTO? I think so. What should we do when we get burnt out? Take a break. See, these things are not that deep, my man. These things are not that deep. It's like what I want to do. Start writing it down. If I'm like, what I'm burnt, just take a break. These things are very basic. It's almost like asking, I am thirsty. What do I do? I don't know. I don't know. I never have heard any idea of like, what if you are thirsty? I don't know, man. So some things do not have, like, see, you have to understand, if you have a question, start crunching it. Use your brain, my man. Like, the more you use your brain, the more you will be used to of the idea, okay, I have a problem. What can I do to solve it? You have to reach to that stage where your brain is in that gear. I have a problem, solve it. If you are stuck in that stage, I have a problem, I have a problem, I have a problem, you are stuck. If you're like, I have a problem, let's solve it, let's try to solve it, then it becomes better. And again, I am telling you flat out from experience, last 4 years of my life has been miserable to say the least. But again, till this point, I have not reached a point where I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Like, there have been days, like the first time when I actually had the first trauma, I actually stopped YouTube for 1 month because again, I was just like, just not having it. But again, I like assumed that I was burnt out. I was like, okay, let's take a break. Right now, again, my body is not feeling so well. I'm going to Kanpur for getting it treated because again, my body, it has to be taken care of. So I'm doing that. So every problem has a solution. You have to just keep moving it through. You have to just keep moving through. You have to train your brain in order to reach to that ratio where it's like, okay, you have a problem, think it through. What can you do? Again, does not mean it will work, but it will get you into that, like, okay, let's try. How do you get so much information? Internet. See, there are other things in internet than porn. See, 90% of internet is porn, but 10% is everything else. So you can get a lot of stuff. Sir, meetup, no, I'm not doing meetup. Trust me, you do not want to meet me in real life, and people did. Even though I did not announce it very distinctly because again I was hired for something else. At least I think 10-12 people may have come and visited me in the Delhi Expo, so that's there. One boy gave me a box, chocolate box, so that was there. How do you know it was 30% while other various internet shares? Go to family court near you. I will not give you numbers and all that. Just go to family court near you. If you do not ask for numbers. I need some guidance. Can I have any sort of your contact? I just want to talk if I can. No. I want to learn MicroPython, but I can't get a complete playlist. Buy a book then. Buy a book. Trust me, buy a book. Heck, I am reading so many books. Heck, I have ordered 3 more books. Whatever problem you have, buy a book. Trust me, more than enough people put more than enough brain power in this sort of things. We ignore it, but I've never noticed any rich person that is not studying this. Any competent people who are not consuming this. Again, does not guarantee that once you consume it, you're gonna be like, I'm the man. But it improves your odds. Again, same thing. Problem, try to seek a solution. Do not get stuck in the problem. Again, last 4 years I've been going through hell, literal hell, and I have high court yet to go. So trust me, when I'm talking this, I'm talking from experience. Only thing I would have wished the Anupam Vipul that I'm right now after going through all this hell. Again, the one good thing I was like, I was trained myself in such a way where it's like, you have a problem, solve it, work. There was nothing else. That's why I'm alive. Otherwise, I would have poofed myself. But That's the reality of it. It's like if my habit is like you have a problem, you work. You are happy, you work. You are sad, you work. It allows me to ride through. Basically, it's almost like ride through. You keep pushing through, and over time, things does get better in some regards. Or it's one of the ironic quotes that I've been hearing in my reel feeds, not reel feeds, what you call shorts feed, where it's like it gets harder just before it becomes easier. It's just not that it becomes easier, you just become better at dealing with it, and that point is like meh. It's one of those things like if you have money, making more money is easy. Heck, if you have a lot of money, just put it into investment, done. Don't even do anything, just like put it and forget about it, done. So it's one of those things. Future of electric air ambulance, a lot of flying time anyway. Maybe, but I would not put my money on it simply because you have to understand, pilots require a lot of money, like a lot of money, because their trainings are expensive, their certification is expensive, they have very rigorous lifestyle. My English is not good. Then focus on, see why you keep giving me problem statements, and again half of your problem statements are childish, where it's like I have this problem, solve it. Like you are bad at English, read. If you have a problem statement, try to solve it. And again, you cannot be scientific or engineering if your brain cannot even do, okay, I'm bad at English, what can I do? It's like, duh, learn English. Try to learn English. Heck, if you cannot have conversation in English, try watching shows. Try watching entertainment that you agree with in order to absorb that. If you're like, hey, I want to expand my brain, try Japanese anime with English subtitle, so you can double charge your work. So again, do things, man. Life, that's the life's only thing that every Tom, Dick and Harry who has done anything can tell you is like, do it. There is nothing more than that, just do it. Now there will be time, there will be hell where you like just beaten down to such a point where it's like you have to take a break. No problem. That's not a problem if you're doing, do it 90% of the time, and then 10% are like, no bro, I'm out. So you have to reach this point where it's like you are doing work for 90% of the time and then you do. So what is your educational background? Such a lame question. I'm an artist. How many times you want to tell me? It's like how to increase mobile phone battery, any practical or tip? Reduce a lot of background application, uninstall a lot of background application, lot of them, and make sure whenever you are putting your phone down, you clear all the RAM. I feel through content creation, what does it mean for you? So what do you feel through content creation? Like what does it mean for you? Again, fundamentally, I do what you call content creation because I'm angry. Like there is nothing more than that. I was so frustrated, so appalled, for lack of a better term, about the quality of science, stuff in Hindi YouTube eco space, that I was like, this is so bad that I started bitching. But again, my life, this is one thing I have figured out in my life. You bitch and then you solve it. Okay, there is nothing more than that. You bitch and then you solve it. So I bitched about it. It's like, hey, why nobody's making, and I was like, I was looking into some English channels that were like so good, so awesome, and they're like, what the hell? So at some point I was just like, you know what, F it. Let me do it. If it works, works. Does not work, does not work. So that's what it is. So nothing fancy. It's like, I'm not successful because of it. I'm successful in spite of it, or whatever that word is. Like, I'm literally, this whole channel, I wanted to do something else. I wanted to do political things. But I'm like, no, India needs more science than it needs politics. And again, my science is not even classified as science. It's more of like surface level, whereas like, basically it's equivalent of reading this, where is the index? Does it have index? I don't think, not many books that I'm reading does not come with index. Interesting. Okay, anyway, assume it's just that, introduction, reading the introduction, that's it. That's all I do. And people are like, oh, how can you know that? It's like, that simply means you have never reached this point. You have never reached deep inside to know. And again, I know why Indians are so bad at it, simply because in India we do not respect knowledge, we do not respect science, we do not respect education. We are basically going from this illiterate thappa chap to stamp chap. Basically, we just want a stamp of IIT stamp or BSc stamp or this stamp or UPSC stamp, rather than actually having the knowledge. We do not go to engineering college to, hey, I want to build a bridge, no, I want to do that so I can get a job. It's like, what kind of like, I'm not joking, there are kids right now Again, because they have been trained this brain damage way for so long that they will literally shut up a professor. It's like, bro, it's not coming in the exam, it's not in the chapter, don't talk about this. Like, they are not absorbing knowledge. They're just trying to get through the door. And the door is very early on. The door should be, I want to make a fighter jet. That's a door. That's the door that you are working towards. Like in my case, I wanted to be an artist. That was my door. Your door cannot be, what, I need to clear this exam. It's like life starts after that. Life starts after you clear your university and all that. What the hell you gonna do then? And then it's like, oh, why we can't get a job? Oh, why we are not so good? Why India cannot make anything about anything? It's like because we disrespect knowledge. Like our life, like the same thing. Expanse TV show has this amazing line that hit me in the heart, oh, it directly fired a missile at my soul. It was like, this line is, that has been the problem with our kind. Even our dreams are small. I was like, holy fuck, like damn. That was like, damn. Even our dreams are small. I was like, ooh, that was bad. So I was like, okay. Tomorrow I'm launching a website which integrated all AI model processes, chances of working. I worked because I was excited. That's the cool. That's the whole point. You do it because you want to do it. The end. So I found through shorts and I love your phrases. आप लोगों ने सुना होगा, ध्यान हम बोलते हैं, I say आप लोगों ने ध्यान दिया होगा. Origin, if you don't mind. I don't think it's a normal Hindi saying. It's a normal Hindi saying. Nothing fancy about that. Make a video about each a different electronic part. Yeah, no, too boring. And again, I'm not an electrician. So, also for divorce. Ooh. Make video each. Okay. Please stay on science. We already have a lot of political channels. Again, dude, why you are telling me? I've been doing this thing for 6 years. How to manage multiple interests? You do not have multiple interests. You have distracted mind. Totally. Try Raw Graphs is a free online tool. Raw Graphs. Okay, let me look into it. At least somebody is trying to give me some useful tool.
Raw Graphs.
All I want is like a very Raw Graphs. Okay, looks interesting. A free open source tool, data visualization tool, Gantt charts, matrix. Does it have good graphs? Your boy needs some good graphs, my boy. Your boy needs some good graphs. Yeah, bye. Okay, I will try. Thank you so much. I will try that. What can I use it for free? No, okay. I can try that directly on the website itself. Interesting. A man is interested into this. Your boy is interested. I will look into it. Thank you so much. I was looking for it. I hope it works the way I'm expecting it to, but thank you. Totally agree with that. So that's the point, man. Like most of the time, you have to understand. I was also young, but again, because I trained myself into such a way where it's like, keep working. You have no food, you have no money, you cannot eat paneer roll anymore. You have to work. So I kept working, and poverty helped me in this regard. Where it's like, and again, I'm not poor. I was just like, could not afford things that I wanted. Like for example, there's this tool that I want to buy. There's this tool, Leatherman. This is basically a Leatherman clone. It's like, so it comes like this. So you have a plier and all that. This is a very cheap version. I saw it somewhere in Kashmir, somewhere like that. And I was like, again, original version of this is Leatherman, but they are like freaking 17,000 rupees. Even the Chinese clone one that is like actually good and useful, that is also very expensive. So, and again, if I had the original one, it had like new designs, like Leatherman Wave. They have all the blades that are outside, so I can just like open it. Right now, I have to open things like this, and if I want to have the quote unquote file, then I have to open like this, then do whatever I want to do. So, it's a messy tool. If I want a knife, I have to do like this. So, I have to go like this. So, that's one of those things. Amit Gupta, hello Anupam, hello to you. So, it's president role in Manipur, but news channels covering India got talent show. President role in Manipur. Yeah. See, fundamentally, at certain point, it's just become so jaded. Like I'm not joking. Like too many people are asking me to cover anti-natalism without understanding that there is a tiny probability that somebody watching my video might become it. It's like it's one of those things. If you have watched Mythbuster, there was a story myth that they wanted to test is that in Vietnam War, Vietnam figured out using water drop torture. So idea was that they're gonna strap you down and they're just gonna have one drop of water falling on your head, nothing more than that, and it will drive you mad. And they actually tried it. And when they were setting up the instrument, the Kori, the first guinea pig, so to say, was the Kori, that lady, and they were like, we actually did not think through that if it works, that we are actually and again 5-10 minutes they started to crack. It was very crazy. Just took. So it's one of those things. What India can do if Trump puts tariff on Indian goods? Find other buyers. What do you do freelancing in your life? Did you do freelancing in your life? No. I tried to, but that did not work out. I'm not that good. I do need infrastructure in order to work. So, such is life. Such is life. Such a life. Amit Gupta, your name sounds familiar, but again, I think the name is quite common. Oh, somebody donated in English channel. That is shocking. That is shocking. Okay. Yeah, it's in English channel. 7-4. Shailesh, you have donated from OK Access. Thank you so much, but you did not put any remark. It was just a UPI. Come on, please add some remark. Thank you for 11 rupees. Thank you so much. I'm thinking of making social site which has only comedy and have software making idea. I'm sitting boring here. Good luck. Can I make my foundational maker space? If yes, then what tool should I have? Simple things like, again, toolkits, nothing too fancy, good toolkits. Basically, again, if you are expecting other people to use it, do not buy cheap tools. They will break too often. So do buy quality tools, but that's it, like screwdrivers. Again, if you can get into cutters, like laser cutters and all that, because again, 3D printers are cheap, but you can't do much about it. But if you have a laser cutter, you can do a lot of things. And again, laser cutters have come down a lot in price. So if you can find a laser cutter that can do 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters of steel, you're good. Drills, drill press, things like drilling and cutting. Lot of things can be done with that. If you can drill and cut reliably metals, you can build almost anything. And some other tools like riveting and all that, if you want to do it very cheaply. 3D printers, laser cutters, these are like second level thing. Third would be materials and all that. Do you think Uniform Civil Code UCC will bring down fertility or Muslim as well? Again, it's irrelevant now. It's irrelevant to me. I just don't care. Like, I have other things to worry about, man. Like, that's the good thing about it. Like, once you are actually busy in life, you have things to worry about. Like, I'm worried about this map, so to say. Because again, I'm working on engine, so now I'm far more familiar with this. I did not even knew that this was the actual term for a brake-specific fuel consumption. And again, why the heck, if our brake-specific fuel consumption is so high that you can have like 225 grams only needed for making 1 unit of power, 1 kilowatt hour, then why the heck our car mileage is so bad? Well, because of this. I kept talking about, like, why we need series hybrid in order to improve efficiency. That's the why. Even if you have a combustion engine and you, like, lock it RPM, it's not good enough. You have to lock the torque also. So you cannot lock the torque because again, the road requirements are dynamic. So you may need more, you may need less. Using battery as a reservoir allows you to bypass that. So you can tell about so much innovation. Not that much, man. See, whenever people are saying that, that simply means you have not reached a very high quality channels. I have seen very high quality channels. So trust me, I know I'm not there. And again, fundamentally, my limiting factor is this. Like, the last 4 years, I did not manage to ride through as efficiently I should have been. But such is life. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose. I really like your video about bureaucrats. Yeah, it is. It's right now the bureaucracy that's happening in USA, that is so awesome. It's so amazing that Trump hires Elon Musk. Okay, and Trump as a president has the authority to hire any goddamn one. He hired Elon Musk. Whether you like it or not, he is a successful businessman. And again, the fact that he has a cult of personality, that actually makes him far more dangerous. So he is actually competent. And then he's like, okay, Doge. And I was like, how the heck Trump built Doge? And he's like, no, he did not. Obama did. He just renamed it. I was like, damn. Damn. I was like, damn. So fundamentally speaking, Trump is just utilizing all the tools. Basically, Trump's first election term. So I think the first Trump, when he got elected for the first time, he was like more focused on how do I become a president. Second time he tried, he knew that he gonna win another time, but he was like, okay, how do I run the country efficiently? So he's working his ass off. Like he's quick. Like the amount of things he's doing, whether even if Supreme Court blocks it, he's doing so much that Supreme Court is now slow. It's like, I want to block everything Trump is doing. You can't. Like he passed 20 of that. You need it, like you can only read 2 per day. It's like, damn. He's like flooding them. He's like Tokyo drifting it. It's like, damn. And once you expose it to public, is people are like, what the hell? I told you, eager space is one good one, reflective layer is another good one, and there are so many more. And again, trust me, YouTube has almost everything. Like again, I'm looking into this. I've been thinking about like buying a quality one finally, but like it's expensive. But I looked into so much, and I just realized recently that 20 years is the patent life of many patents, and if you do not renew it or some law is there, if you do not do that, other companies can legally clone it. So Leatherman made a very high quality one, very successful one, Leatherman Wave, and very successful. It's like it sold millions of them and made Leatherman quite popular. But again, they have not been doing anything interesting after 20 years, and it's been like, bro, come on, upgrade, improve, or anything. So now the licenses patent has expired. Now other people can make it. Chinese people are doing it, and they fixed one biggest flaw of that. And I'm like, I should buy that. So it's one of those things. How much kilowatt generator is needed to parallel series? Wrong question. It depends on your load. Like if you are running a Toto, you do not need that many kilowatt. But if you are running a truck, you need a lot of kilowatt. And again, what do you want to prioritize it? Like if you want it to be more of a engine is running all the time, you need a small battery and a bigger generator. If you want it to be electric car 90% of the time, 10% of the time a long range EV, long range fuel vehicle, at that point you would be in, range extender would be smaller and your battery would be huge. So both of those vectors have to be balanced. All this software are made view needy software. I'm sort of idea. Not sure what you're trying to say. You said who are cutting us? वो भी जाएगा. Explain. I won't. Like this is way too childish question, man. If you're not understanding what happens to civilization when they fall, read history for that. Make video on anodizing. I think I have done that. But in news they are saying Elon misuses his. Of course they are saying it. They are saying he's. Hey, I'm like, bro. He actually poofed millions of people. Like Trump, Elon is not that. And again, that's how I know. He is bringing out. Why do you have a cave where people are working for your this federal what you call pension? Yeah, federal pension, federal retirement system. Why do you have that? And again, you have it under the bunker and all that, which they say it's very safe. I'm like, no, it's not safe. You have water pumps there. That means it gets flooded. You have to run water pump. Basically, electric goes on like poof, it will be flooded. And paper and water, So I'm like, oh, it's a very ventilated. I don't think it's selected in a good place, or maybe it's old, and back in that day they did not have water table there, and then some few bad rain happened and water table happened. So that could have also happened. And I'm like, why the heck you did not digitize this? Oh, we tried. We burnt $100 million. We could not digitize this. I'm like, what? And again, once you expose that, you can say, oh, he's misusing power. It's like, if that's your criticism, you are not understanding what Trump has power over. Like Trump can hire someone. Like duh. And again, Obama did the infrastructure for it. Trump is smart, he's using it. So that's why they could not stop him. It's like, recently Uttarakhand became the first state to implement UCC. I do not know, man. Do you believe in privacy? Absolutely. Without privacy, we are destroyed. I'm thinking that majority of softwares are made. I have no idea what should make. What the heck? Oh, some other people have also donated. Okay. It would be a rare event if some people keep donating in the English chat. That would be rare. Huh. Swapna Kumar donated 11 rupees. Thank you so much. Thank you for enlightening me with a lot of knowledge. Well, that's what I try to do. 740. Abhishek have donated 10 rupees. Thank you so much from IBL. I do not know which bank it is, but thank you so much. And remark is I learned English. I learned English from this channel. Thanks, sir. Happy to help. Internet piracy. Privacy or piracy? You don't have any video about anodization. You sure? Are you sure about that? Are you really sure about that? Are you freaking really sure about that? I may have a different name of that, but there's a very good chance I have covered it. Yeah, I have electroplating. That's the exact same thing. That's the exact same thing. He's maintaining his privacy by being silent on his location. No, I have exposed my location long enough. Again, I do find it frustrating. Again, once you can see someone's face, you know where they live. Like, that's not that hard. If you know someone's name, you can look into where they live and all that. Again, that's the whole point of voter ID cards and all that. Can we see solar system, all planets from 1 light year away? Yeah, not in detail, but you can see it. Like, you can actually figure out Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, even Pluto to some extent. Yeah, you should be. You should be. 1 year light year is not that far away. The nearest one is what? Alpha Centauri, which is like 3.8 or 4 kind of 4 light years. Again, it does wobble. So 1 light year is more than close enough. You can see it. And again, we can see very far. It's just like how much detail and resolution you can get. Like if it's a very far away, let's say 2000 light years or 5000 light years, then you have to do multiple observation for years. Only then you can build up a catalog where, and some designs please cover anodization. That's the same thing as electroplating. Same thing, just the chemicals change. Anyway, yeah, you have to wait for planet to pass through the its stars light. That allows you the best analysis. Another is if it's, let's say, the axis is not lined up, so you cannot observe it like this. The axis is like this, then you can look for gravitational wobble. That's not a very precise tool, but you can see a lot of things. Do you think we need more categorization like 18% for social media content? Maybe, maybe. So how optimistic you are about a motor engine that will be motor engine? I do not get it. Like, are you talking about series hybrid or germs and steel? Interesting. I think that's a book name, right? I think that's a book name. I may have heard of it. At some point, I may have heard of it. Yeah. I do not. Assuming you are talking about series hybrid, again, we have been doing series drivetrain, and we are. Yeah, it's a book. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Anyway, assuming you are talking about that, let's see how successful it is, because I am trying to do it. B, I have seen another auto company doing it. Another. Edison Motors are doing it. It's like car companies are so hell bent. It's like we built this such an amazing engine about so much turbocharger, and this is like, what if you don't? It's like, no, but we put so much money into it. It's like, what if you just let it go? Just do not connect it. Just don't touch the gearbox. Just don't have clutch. Don't have gearbox. Just like, you have the engine shaft and put a motor generator unit there. Done. Why motor generator? Because again, you do need to start it. So it will be a starter, and that's it. So that's it. Yeah, it's a book, interesting book. Again, I have 3 books coming, so we'll see. And again, I might be going out for. That's tedious. When YouTube launches multiple language to choose. Yeah, that would be interesting, but I have not seen good enough data where it's like, okay, that's actually useful. It's more of like gimmick, because again, it's not that good in terms of analysis, and they do not allow to turn it off. Okay, it was just the old system. Yeah, the multiple languages to choose, and again, I think yeah, upheaval, upheaval by same author. Yeah, cool, 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 cool. Anyway, this was a very interesting live stream. Surprisingly, a lot of people came in. I think I had surge of like 25 people watching at the same time, so it was amazing. Thank you guys, and it was very, very interesting, very heated. So do you think we will all have runway greenhouse effect in coming 5 to 10 years, and are we already there? I do not know, man. And again, this is one of those things, even if I know the answer, I would wish that answer is wrong, because, well, I do still have some life left. I do not want to be cooked yet. Anyway, so all things considered, I hope the world is here, world stays here, although we may not be part of it, but we should. Do you feel any software that is not available in terms of what you to such half of them? I'm literally building software right now. How much time did it take for LLM to run in our laptop? Quite a while, quite a while. Anyway, bye.